Death and heartbreak are real, and they're real reasons that keep us from experiencing joy this holiday season. The gut-wrenching emotions, the confusion, the bitterness, the need, the unknowns, they're all so real, so painful, so present in our ever-waking thoughts. Henry Nouwen wrote, "When you love someone or miss someone, you experience an inner anguish." But what if I told you this inner anguish can be the best avenue that you have to reconnect with your lost love? Nouwen continues, "When the place where God dwells in you is intimately connected with the place where God dwells in the other, the absence of the other person is not destructive. On the contrary, it challenges you to enter more deeply into communion with God, which is the source of all unity and communion among people." In other words, your anguish can lead you to God, which opens up deep places within you to experience communion with those you love. What this might look like is that you start seeing and feeling the presence of those you have lost and loved. You see them in the faces of strangers in the grocery store. You feel their presence at a kitchen table while you're eating breakfast. You hear them in the laughter of others at a coffee shop. When you're connected to God, your soul opens to deep love. So amid all the smiles and laughter, if you're grieving this Christmas, it's okay. Your anguish has a role to play. If you let it, the pain can lead you to remembrance, which leads you to hope, which leads into communion with God, which leads you back to the presence of the one that you love. In other words, the grief we experience from death or absence, it calls us to a deeper knowledge of God's love. And God's love is what we need to reveal the presence of the other. Think about it like this. When you grieve and allow God to grieve with you, then God in you, which is deep love, speaks to the God in the other. Psalm 42:7 calls this deep speaking to deep. Your grief creates a mutuality in the heart of God, which embraces both of you. Over the last year, I would say this has become one of the most profound thoughts that I've wrestled with. It's given me such fodder to consider and hold. It's given me something to cling to when all else feels loose and out of sorts. To say it more plainly, our deep inner self is spiritually connected with the ones we've lost. Our relationship with God is our deep, and it connects with our love's deep, even beyond this life. If you're grieving this Christmas, embrace your anguish. Let God into your pain. This may seem backwards at first, but it works. Rather than trying to cast your pain aside, enter into it. Don't lock it away. Open yourself up to it. Walk through it. For when you do, you meet your true self, who is constantly in communion with God, which can connect you to the one you lost, and it helps you never forget. No matter how dark your pain feels, no matter how depressed you get this Christmas, if you travel through your pain, you will find God's light. And as John's gospel puts it, God's light always outshines the darkness, and even the deepest darkness cannot overcome it.